Alright guys, today I'm excited to share with you something that I have wanted for a very long time. A Moonlander. Check out those meats. I've wanted this bicycle in particular, well not this exact one, but a Surly Moonlander for a very long time, and I've actively wanted an actual fat bike, a Surly fat bike, for the better part of like 15 years at least. The Moonlander, this one can fit up to 5-inch wide tires. These are 4.7s I have on. Now I got this bike about 3 weeks ago, and I spent 15 minutes on it, riding it. We have been so busy with the Christmas rush, and that is finally at a close. So I'm so excited about that. It was a phenomenal year for Etsy this year. But I'm gonna kind of show you this stuff, and I've got some tweaks I want to make to it, obviously. All right, so here it is, the Surly Moonlander. Like all Surlys, it's the 4130 chromoly steel. I'm a huge fan of steel frames. And here you see the FATBIKE derailleur for the front here. See how far out it comes. No step. That's kind of funny. In the future, I might set this up as a one-by. The gentleman that I bought this off of, he actually just upgraded to, I forget, but his fat bike, I think it's like a $7,000 bike that he switched to. But here we've got the Surly clown shoe rims. These are like 100mm wide rims. We got the Surly big fat Larry tires. So 4.7. The guy that I had this off of was about the same size as me, and he used to run these down to 3 PSI. I think right now they're about 8. Exact same setup on the back. Very odd back end here, and it looks like it was in a car accident, but that's how it's set up. I think that's so that it can use like a standard rear hub, and then you see it's also spoked on this side. All the spokes are laced to only one side of the wheel. So it's kind of different that way. So it's a 2x9 setup. I don't know exactly what I have in the front or what in the back. Again, used bike, but it fits me. This is a size large. I'm going to need a little bit more seat post than what I have right here. Probably need about, I don't know, maybe another inch to get this to fit really good. What I'm going to be swapping out is a seat, the handlebars. I'm going to put my 24-pack rack on the front, different pedals. Got the Avid BB7s, which are my favorite bicycle brake. I love these brakes. But really, it's not a bad bike. And we've got, lots of braze-ons, so we can put water bottles up front if we want. It has the thumb shifters. This is essentially all stock. There's not a lot of things that have been upgraded to this, but it's a little bit dirty. I mean, the guy rode it a lot. I'm really excited to get some miles in on it. But before we do that, let's kind of make this my own bike, set it up the way I want, and then we'll go take it out for a little rip. That thing is a tank. So first thing I'm going to do is swap out the handlebars. I made a mistake. I need to put my levers and things on first. There we go. Come on. There we go. Oh yeah. And I'm going to be running my ergon grips. I'm going to tighten those up when the bike is on the ground, as well as my levers. I'll get that dialed in while I'm sitting on it. So now I'm going to swap out the saddle. This looks like the saddle that came on the bike. It's not my saddle of choice. Also, the height, the angle that the guy had this set up at, I don't know if he rode like this, but man, it was weird. I kept sliding off the back of it. My beloved B17. I've actually taken this was last on my steamroller, but I took it off because I wanted something a little lighter on my steamroller. Now we'll do the pedals. So I'm pretty sure these weren't the pedals the guy had on here, but when you sell a bike, you always sell cheap pedals. There's a lot of brands that have a model called the Chester, and I think they're ultimately just the exact same thing. These ones just have much better grip. But if you look here, you can see these ones are quite a bit thinner, which puts you a lot closer to the axle, which is nice. And these actually have metal grip tabs on them, so that's pretty much it for the drivetrain. And now what I'm going to do is put my 24-pack rack on. I have to do some tweaking. So we've actually got bosses on the inside of the forks here, so we're gonna use that. Put the wheel back on, kind of see how this all looks. I think I should title this video, How to Take a Heavy Bike and Make It Heavier. Well, I think everything else is groundwork, so we'll take it off the stand. All right, so let's see what we have here. I wonder if I want that a little lower. Yes, that's how you want it. Keep the weight nice and low. Let's see what level it is. I'm gonna call that pretty darn good. All right, so I swapped out the Jones bars. I just decided not to have them. They're better for like touring and kind of more relaxed, long distance riding. Whereas I think on my Moonlander, I'm gonna be a little bit more technical, and I just wanted something a little bit more, so I just put a flat bar on there. But you can see we've got some snow. A lot of this is really, really packed, like a lot of big snow drifts and stuff. And then there's like a little sprinkling of some light stuff. So let's head outside and see what this thing's like. Black guy's healing from when I was wrestling with my little guy. All right, let's check this out. Oh man, I like this. Wow, this is something else. This thing handles great. Well, initial thoughts, this thing is awesome. These big tires are so smooth, and right now, even on my Karate Monkey, the stuff I'm riding through, it would definitely be a little bit challenging. But on this big thing, my gracious, it's not a problem at all. So far, I'm very impressed. This, I couldn't come out here. Like, you see how wide those tracks are. Like, look at that. Tire tracks are as wide as my shoe. I don't even have the pressure that low. I think I'm at around 8 PSI. But my goodness. I really am liking this bike. And then with the super duper granny gears, man, it'll go through anything. But I just, the thing that amazes me is it actually isn't a massive amount of effort. I really truly thought it would take a lot more effort riding with these tires, like just what I'm doing here, cruising on the gravel. But it's actually not that bad. And the smoothness of the ride is absolutely amazing. Jump out onto the highway for a minute, see what it's like. Oh yeah. Boom, just plowing. Whoa, I need better tires. One thing, oh, there we go again. I do think I want better tires. These big fat Larrys are not overly knobby, and I do want a little more traction. But fat bike tires are not cheap. They're pretty darn expensive, so let's cruise down here just a titch. Oh man, this is nice. This is nice. Definitely a slower pace of riding. Nice to have highways that aren't super busy. But what I'm curious about is if I can get down the canal up here. I have a feeling it won't be that accessible to me. But we'll check it out. There's like no wind today, which is amazing. Okay. Well, let's drop down some gears. I don't know what this is gonna be like. Oh no. That ain't happening. That is not happening. Oh well, it was worth a try. I think a lot of people have this misconception that fat bikes just go anywhere, but I don't really think they do. Times like this, I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. And you see all the drifting in there. I mean, I don't care who you are, you ain't getting through there. Snowmobile's about all you'll do. Better take one for the gram. Or 10 for the gram. I feel very, very fortunate to be able to have a bike like this and to live out here where I can just do this stuff. I think in the next day or two it'll be time to do a little coffee outside trip. Ride around in some gravel and we'll find a ditch, pull over and make some brew. Check that out, just riding on the shoulder, no problems. No problems at all. You know, if we stop and look, you wouldn't be riding that on many other bikes. Oh, I love this thing. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. I like the sound of the snow too. People never think about the sound of snow. Hear it screaming? Whole different type of mindset to riding fat bikes. And I talk like I've done it before. My first fat bike, and all of a sudden I'm an expert. Sure like how dead the roads are right now though. Nobody on these roads. I really, really like this. Definitely could get used to it. I like this. I like this a lot. Just nice and slow. And it's a decent exercise, decent little workout. I'm trying to spin these big fat fatties. I think the weight on these wheels, I think each wheel is like 5 or 6 pounds or something stupid. Like, people say you pedal twice as hard to go half as fast while burning 3 times the calories. So that's good. You know, it's definitely a lot of chugging involved. Now compare this to my steamroller. My steamroller, man, it just seems to pedal itself almost. You can just feel it going, but not with this thing. I also do think I need to redo the bearings. We'll get to it all in time. Oh, this thing is some fun. Oh yeah. This thing's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Well, that was a good ride. So much fun. I can't believe how fun that thing is. If you've ever wondered about a fat bike, wondered if you should get one. It all depends on the places you have to ride. But honestly, even if I didn't have a lot of snow and stuff, I mean, as a gravel bike, they're so comfortable. It's just ridiculous. They're so much fun. And then before you had all the snow, I took it for one quick little rip, and there were some downed trees in the ditch, and this thing went over those things like they weren't even there. I mean, as far as like an off-road bike, you can't beat a fat bike. Like they got so much they just roll over stuff. They're massive smile inducers. Oh, so much fun. I'm really, really excited about this bike. And again, got a couple things I want to do to it. New wheel bearings is the main thing. New tires. I would like to get some new tires, but I think the tires for this that I want are like $700 a pair. That's more than I spend on tires for my car. But anyways, just thought I'd share this with you guys. Surly Moonlander, finally have myself a fat bike, and I'm excited to have this. Even what I just did today was like a half an hour ride, right? Get out, half an hour, you get some fresh air in your lungs, you get your blood pumping a little bit. So good for you, and it's so easy. It doesn't matter what kind of snow we have. Yeah, you can just go out and ride. So much fun. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Cheers.